In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the process of using traditional glass painting techniques to paint this little creature here. This is a hand-painted skull. There's a variety of different methods at play here, including enamels and stains and traditional glass painting techniques. And one of the techniques that I'm using that I wanted to share with you is using oils to create graduated shading tones. If you're interested in learning about how to paint on glass, you've come to the right place. My name's Derek. I'm a professional stained glass artist, and I make inspirational videos and tutorials all about the wonderful world of stained glass. But this video really is an introduction to painting with oils. The wonderful thing about painting with oils is the oil keeps the paint wet for quite a long period of time, so you can move it around the surface of the glass and create lovely graduated shading tones. So this just walks you through the whole process from start to finish on how I shaded this amazing little skull's head. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for lots more inspirational videos and tutorials all about the wonderful world of stained glass. Enjoy! Bye for now. So let's now look at adding another layer of shading to our sgraffito skull here. And today we're going to be adding a little bit of tracing black, which is the original tracing black that we used to create our first sgraffito layer. I'm going to put my gloves on as well, because I'm now recommending that everyone who's working with paints, glass paints, whether they're lead free or leaded, wears gloves just as an added layer of protection to stop paint resting on the skin surface for a period of time. If you're painting with oils, then it will be absorbed into your skin much more easily than it will be with water. Today we are just using water, but there again, it's always better to be safe and wear gloves. And today we're using this Roche medium here, which is an oil-like liquid. It's actually a water-soluble paint medium, so it's completely misnamed as being a Roche oil. That's the trade name, Roche oils, but in actual fact it is a water-based paint medium. And we just need a very small amount that we're going to add to a bowl, just the smallest amount. You don't really need very much, and we're going to use a method of adding water and oil to our paint in order to create the right level of transparency, and that's really what we're going for here, is a transparent layer. We've mixed our paint up here, and to this we're also now going to add some oil, some Roche oil medium. So what we're doing is, you can see the paint changes its consistency. It becomes much more gloopy and oil-like. Now the advantage of using an oil is that it doesn't dry. The paint doesn't dry very quickly. It allows us to push the paint around the surface of the glass for a lot longer periods of time. And then we're just going to begin applying little areas to our design here. Again, let's just make this more transparent. I'm just playing with the translucency to get it just right before I start applying lots of it. So again, you can see I'm just adding shading to various parts of the design. And then we're going to badger this down. We're going to actually use a small badger brush, and we're going to add a level of transition in the gradation of tone, which we can do easily with this particular paint, which is lovely to work with. So I'm moving, sort of just generally creating shadowy areas that are not too detailed just yet, but I'm going to kind of increase the level of detail as we work our way through it. But you can see here we're just adding various bits and pieces to it. So we're also now going to use our badger brush. This is a much smaller badger brush here to create a feathered, much more of a feathered effect here. So this allows us to really blend our blend our paints in. See here, it's now becoming this lovely sort of translucent layer. And not worrying too much about going over areas that I don't necessarily want to cover entirely, because I can pull this paint back. It does, as I say, stay wet for quite a period of time, and I'm talking like hours and days. It will stay tacky for quite a long period of time, allowing you to play with it, just creating various tones. So we're also going to use our little Q-tips here to lift out areas. So say for example around the eye socket I want to lift the paint away. I'm going to lift that paint out of those areas here. Around here is lifted out again. You go through quite a few of these tips because these Q-tips do get quite soggy with paint quite quickly, but it allows me to kind of really control this paint. You can see here I'm lightening up this areas around the brow, and again around the flower. Just softening it down quite a lot. There's a highlight in here that I want to lift out, and around here. So because it's an oil, we have lots of time to play with this to get it just working in the way that we want it to work. Let's work into the flower areas now. This paint is going to stay malleable for quite a period of time, allowing us to really create subtle changes in tonal value. The advantage of using this oil as well is that the quality of the shading is very much more subtle than it might be, for example, with stippling. So we're able to get a much more graduated tone, a much more graduated tonal change. So there we have it. Our skull is ready to pop back into the kiln for this second firing layer before we start to colorize the image.